No, that's not a joke. 2 parts in one day. I wonder if any of you will be able to tell me which one of my early influences that was a reference to. Anyway, as you can see, I have sadistically severed the heads of these stall children and then left them to wander for the rest of their undead life. I was actually thinking about it earlier, off camera, and I feel like it was inevitable that I would do this with the dawn. Come on, dawn. Can we sync this with the dawn? Sort of. With the sorry, with the dawn of the internet, because back when I was a kid, I used to record myself playing this game on my VHS. Not even kidding. And I never really made the connection that that was like sort of and kind of like a primitive form of Let's Playing. I guess it doesn't work. Oh well. Anyway, this is a pea hat, and I am engaged. Oh my gosh! That's not what I wanted to do. I am engaging this monstrosity in combat for the simple reason that I once thought that these were terrifying, and so I'm going to kill one for you. Ugh. Just to to show you that they're not so bad, even though I stupidly took damage. What the? Come here. Oh, I got you. Ooh! Ooh! Listen to me, I'm so stupid. And the hearts of heaven. Anyway. So I was thinking when I was looking at those stall children, what exactly are stall children? Because the lore for the Stalfos, the adult variant, I suppose, of that enemy, is the skeleton. The adult variant, the lore for that is like it's a Hylian that ventured into this area. They call it collectively the Kokiri Forest, and the Lost Woods collectively is known as the Forbidden Woods. And if a Hylian ventures into that location, I'm really botching this explanation. They get lost forever and become either Stalfos or Skull Kids, depending on whether or not they're children or adults. But what the heck are Stall Children? If you're supposed to become a child, or if you're supposed to become a Skull Kid, if you're a child, then how do you become a Stall Child? I don't know. Anyway, so there are a number of locations that we can visit right now. In the last video, we saw a sign that said, here's Lon Lon Ranch. And oops, there it is. Oh god, I'm blinded. There's Hyrule Castle. That's Kakariko Village and Death Mountain. When I was a kid, it took me forever to find this, but over in this region over here is Zora's Domain. And then beyond Lon Lon Ranch behind here is some other stuff, but in front of it is another Stall Child. Beyond that is Lake Hylia and Gerudo Desert, depending on where you go. So I'm going to get some stuff. Actually, I wonder. I want to show you something first. This is going to be... Sorry. This is going to be sort of like the meandering around episode. So... Oh yeah, the Deku Shield! Okay, I wanted to tell you about the Deku Shield, man. In the manga... Yeah, I know. You could totally play an Ocarina of Time drinking game with this Let's Play where anytime I say in the manga, you take a shot, but... yeah, there... like, in the game, obviously, you buy the shield at a store, but in the manga, after the Deku Tree... Well, before the Deku Tree dies, he tells Link that once I'm dead, you need to make a shield out of my remains, and it'll protect you from harm. And when I read that, I immediately thought about the scene in The Wind Waker where Link's grandma gives him the hero shield, because it's sort of the same thing. Like that, if I ever get there in Let's Play format, I am probably gonna like tear up or something, because I love that scene. I always get choked up when I watch it. It's like, okay, so there's this old woman, and she she had her granddaughter kidnapped, and she looks after Link and Aryll like not only their grandmother, but like their mother figure as well. So she's like raising them, and she looks after them, and then she hears that her granddaughter is kidnapped by a demon bird, and then her very young son has to go out has to leave the island for the first time with no one trustworthy or family or any friends or any of that. Like, just this child going out into the fucking ocean to try and rescue this other, even younger child, and she's so worried about them. But instead of like making it worse for Link by worrying him that he has to worry about her, she puts on a brave face and gives him the shield. But then at the end she can't really take it anymore, and she starts like shaking, and it's so sad. Anyway, this is a line of dialogue that I never found until way later in my life. Because usually, like, they tell you to wait a second, friend. They tell you to head to Hyrule Castle, and I usually always did. But as I grew older, I started to like not do what developers wanted me to do immediately. And so if you head to Kakariko, you'll see you'll see Kaepora Gaebora in this tree. And he's like, yeah, what the hell are you doing, man? Go to Hyrule Castle. I hate how they put your cursor on... Oh, what? I pressed B! Does that not... Oh my god. That is bullshit. Yeah, I'm the only one who can complete this LP. Yeah, I don't know why I needed to show you that. I wonder what the draw distance for Kaepora Gaebora is. They probably don't expect you to watch him. That's not bad. Yeah, there you go. Same thing that happens in Breath of the Wild. I fucking hate it when I'm chasing an animal and then they just like blip out of existence. Ugh, terrible. Anyway. So yeah, I'm just gonna mess around here. I'm gonna go to Lon Lon Ranch and get a heart piece. Why? Because I can, okay? Backwalking is like twice as fast. So I remember the first time I was out in Hyrule Field like this, after I left Kokiri Forest. I think it was like spring break, and so I stayed up super late. Like I remember, like I told you last time, when I played this behind my friend's back and beat the Deku Tree and got out of the forest for the first time and saw the world. And this was sort of like my epiphany that night that this game was going to be like amazing. Because I thought that I was so far and there was just so much to explore, like to take in for your first time. Virgin joke. And I'm plugged up. That was gross. Lon Lon Ranch. Anyway, so I stayed the first time. Hey, what's Ingo doing out here? What? What are you doing hanging around here? I just asked you that. You're the little weirdo. Yeah, he mines the ranch because he doesn't mine it. He minds it. Oh god, just stop. Mind. Yeah, Talon's off delivering milk to Hyrule Castle. Tough to be working, man. Actually, let's see. There you go. Get out of the way. There you go. Now, in a previous episode, I asked if Deku Nuts could stun Skulltulas, but I meant gold Skulltulas, and they don't. So I guess it doesn't really matter. Anyway, the point of that story is that I stayed up until 6 in the morning playing this game. That memorable night. Like, all alone in the dark. At like 12, and I guess it was memorable because at that age I wouldn't be normally staying awake that late. And I'm pretty sure that was... Oh, crap. There's supposed to be a Skulltula here, but I didn't let it become night. You know what, I'm gonna do that. I'm sorry. Anyway. Ah! Jeez. What the hell do you think you're doing, horse? God. Yeah, I remember this because I'm pretty sure... Well, my memory could be faulty, but... pretty sure that was also the spring break where Card Captors was on at, like, super late in the morning, like 6 or 7 in the morning on Teletoon. And near the end of that... Well, not spring break, summer vacation. What am I saying? This whole time I've been saying spring break. Yeah, near the end of that summer vacation, they, well, I could be wrong, but this is how I remember it. We were one episode away from the end of the series, where, like... Well, I'm not going to tell you what happens, but, yeah, don't worry, I know it's Cardcaptor Sakura, and it's Kinamoto and not Avalon. I'm not one of those... Anyway, whatever, but... I love Cardcaptor Sakura, by the way. Anyway... we were one episode away, and then they, like, canceled that... Wait, what? Wait, what? Did I seriously get so distracted by talking that I... What did I even do when I got to the gate? Did I just break the pots and then come back? I was supposed to wait for it to become night. Wow. My lord. My Lady Hylia. That was... just stupid. I am an idiot. Is there anything in here? Anyway, so they canceled the program block, or whatever it's called. They, like, they canceled the show or whatever. Like, they didn't cancel the show, but they removed it. One episode away from the last episode. And I was, like, so upset. But yeah, so... This game, I sort of, like, consider this, like, my first real, legitimate, like, adventure with a video game. Like, my mom was, like, a single mom on assistance, so we didn't have a lot of money. And you can say what you want about that. Personally, I think that she probably should have went back to work, but I mean, whatever. It is what it is. I hate that expression, but I just used it. Anyway, I mean, even if she did go back, it wouldn't have changed the fact that my dad wasn't around. So, I don't know. I don't know what there is to say about that. But the point is, I didn't have a lot of opportunity to, you know, get stuff. Like, get expensive stuff. Well, and, beyond the fact that we didn't have a lot of money, my mom is just, like, really bad with money. Like, she has no idea how to budget. And that's fine. I mean, those are skills that we learn, right? I hope she never sees this. That'd be really insulting. I don't mean anything bad by that. It's not like an insult or anything. I didn't learn how to budget until I was, like, well, I guess an adult. I didn't really need to learn how to, well, I learned how to budget as a teenager out of necessity. And maybe I'll tell you that story one day, but not to the point where I, like, not in the form that I use today, where I actually, like, section money off in different categories and actually produce savings each month, but anywho. She was the kind of person who would spend all of her money the day she got paid. And not, like, on shit. Like, she would, like, buy groceries, but like, not very adeptly estimate, like, how much you would actually need if you were gonna empty your entire, you know, pool of funds in one go. So, anyway, yeah, the point is, I didn't have a lot of video gaming experience as a kid, so, but as a result, the things that I did experience were that much more special, like, Man, should I tell this story? Man, I didn't expect to tell this story. One day in, what was it? One day in elementary school, during our Halloween party, I went to the washroom. Oh God, shut up with that cough! Man, I haven't done anything in this video but talk about myself, but, you know. Is this like the sharing circle episode where you, like, learn a little about me? Anyway, so I went to the bathroom, and on the floor, there was a Versus Books guide for Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. Just abandoned on the floor there. And I don't know if you remember Versus Books. As a side note, I slammed that book hardcore in my Pokemon column that I wrote on Poke Community that no one read, which I was salty about at one point, but I just don't care anymore. I might turn it into like a video series, I might not, but the point is, that book got me all interested in the game, and it was like a different time back then. Like, reading the game guides was special. I can't describe. I still remember how I felt as I read, like, about the game and saw, you know, screenshots, but like didn't have any concept of what movement within those images would look like. I just, you know, like, had what they said about it to go on and used my imagination to fill in the rest. And it was, like, captivating. I was like, I have to play this game, man. And so, by the way, I'm heading to Gerudo Desert. Yeah, to pick up another heart piece. But anyway, so I was just, like, enthralled. And I read that thing cover to cover. And it was, like, mangled. I had to, like, tape the thing up like crazy. It, like, I still own it to this day, and it looks like a piece of shit, but it doesn't matter because it's like one of my treasures. But so eventually this this like weird game store called Microplay popped up. Oops. Here, I'll show you that just in case you want to read it. This text. Anyway, Microplay. It was like a... I don't know how to describe it. It's like a... Well, I mean, not like a GameStop or EB Games, but like... Well, sort of. I don't know. Like a second-hand video game store type thing. And it's not around anymore. But... my mom found me an original Game Boy there for $17. And, like, not a Game Boy Color, we're talking, like, original Game Boy, like, gray brick, like, lavender, or not lavender, but, like, purple buttons, like that one. And she found that there. And so she surprised me with it when I got home, and I was like, dude, oh my gosh. And I remember, yeah, it sparked so many memories. I remember, like, putting batteries in it and switching it on and seeing, like, the like, text Game Boy displayed and pretending that I was playing Pokemon. And then eventually, since, like, I mean, we were around when, like, Pokemon was a fad and everyone was playing it in school, so we didn't have the money to buy the games, but eventually someone would, like, I wouldn't say one of my friends, because I didn't really have any friends back then in elementary. I only started getting, like, slightly popular in middle/high school. But, so there's a heart piece behind this waterfall, and it's going to take a while to get there, but you feel, right? Hey, pop in from that Sheikah, or Gossip Stone, not Sheikah Stone. Sheikah Stone. All the Sheikah Stone. Oh, jeez, I thought that was... Okay, whatever. Throw it! There you go. What was I talking about then? Dive. Oh no, he didn't dive. Anyway, yeah, so if you mash the sword button, you can swim faster. Yeah! No. But yeah, so eventually someone would lend me their either Pokemon Red or Yellow. I can't remember which one I played first, but at some point I played both of them because someone gave me their cartridge for like a night or a week, or I think one person let me keep it at some point, but then we sold it because eventually I would sell all my stuff. Well, I didn't do it, my mom did for food and crap, which upset me, but I mean, what are you going to do, right? Food's more important than playing video games. But, I mean, if she didn't suck so hard. But that's like, there's so many factors. Like, I don't blame her or anything, and like I said, since the experiences were so rare, that made them more memorable and more special. But anyway, so yeah, that was my portable life. But you know, as far as consoles, the only console I had, well, I can't remember the order, but at one point I had a Sega Genesis, and we didn't buy that either. Well, I guess my mom bought the Game Boy, but we didn't buy this. My cousin phoned her up one day, and she was like, "Hey, we have a Sega, and holy shit, it's keyboard I gave to her. We have a Sega, and like we don't want it anymore. Like, would well, I almost said my name there. Whoa, careful. Would be interested." And so my mom was like, "Yeah, yeah, okay, don't even." And so we got that, and I don't remember how I got my games. If my cousin gave us some games, or we got them from Jordan, because yeah, I don't mind saying names of like people, because then you know who they are. I got one day I'll tell you my name. Why not? Lake Hylia. Oh yeah. But yeah. I used to have a friend who was like, I think 3 years younger than me, named Jordan, and he had a sister named Melissa, and 2 infant siblings named Justin and Ashley. And they used to live in the apartment block that my mom and I lived in when I was a kid. So it was pretty convenient. We would go over to each other's houses quite a bit. And he was sort of crazy. Like, he smashed Justin in the face with a Tonka truck. And his dad was like, well, his stepdad. He was kind of I liked him, but at the same time he could be a little bit harsh to the kids. Like, he would react to things that they would do in a sort of volatile way. And I guess, oh crap, these like P-hat spawn are sort of dangerous. Anyway, whatever. I guess Jordan didn't really like being on the receiving end of that, while, you know, his siblings, who were like fucking infants, were sort of innocent and thus generally free from any, you know, punishment, sort of. I mean, obviously not all the time, but for the most part. So one time I remember he poured water all over his stepdad's like work clothes and in Justin's bed to make it look like he peed all over that stuff. And then his stepdad, whose name was Keith, he spanked him really hard and made him cry and whatever. But the kids were sort of crazy too. Like, I remember one time, should I even tell this story? I remember one time Ashley beat the crap out of me with a coat hanger. And I was wondering if I should tell that story because I was like 12 and got beat up by a 5-year-old. So, well, I'm not going to fight back. It's a 5-year-old girl. But anyway, that's fine. So, should we head to the castle? I guess not. Let's head to Kakariko Village. Anyway, so, he had a Sega Genesis too. So I guess we, like, shared games. And I remember playing, like, Sonic the Hedgehog. And, me and Jordan had a lot of fun with Streets of Rage. That shit was, like, the bomb. And Golden Axe, oh my god, I love Golden Axe. We didn't have too many games, but one that really stood out to me, I think, was it his, or because I know we didn't buy it. We just got them somehow. I can't remember how, but one that really stood out to me, and I think I might even LP it, is, what was it called? Shining Force. Oh, okay, Cora, get out of here. Yeah, Shining Force was incredible. That was like my first like console RPG, and the thing about Shining Force is that Zelda sort of reminded me of it in a way, because it's... Oh, sorry about that. No, I thought I pressed yes. Yeah, it sort of reminded me of it, because Shining Force would have been my first experience with like medieval type like fantasy settings in a video game. But that's pretty much it. Oh, there was one other thing. My mom also had this crazy friend named Debbie, who would like... Well, actually, my mom seemed to attract a lot of people who wanted to like take advantage of her kindness in order to get a lot of money out of her. And she was sort of naive in the sense that she was freaking a single mother on welfare. You have no business giving your money, hundreds and hundreds of dollars, to people who ask for it, who has like jobs. But anyway, I hope I don't sound too critical of my mom. I love my mom. She was great. but anyway. No, I'm not going to the graveyard. Yeah, this guy's a clock. Oh, I sort of skipped that dialogue. Anyway, so Debbie had a daughter named Emily, and she was kind of creepy. Like, she was like 9 or something. Well, I don't know how old we were, but we were really young, like 9 to 12. As you can see, my memory at this time period is a little like, what the hell? But all these things happened at some point, I just don't know the timeline exactly. And, so one time, Emily, like, wanted me to come to her room, and she, like, got me to, like, dance with her in the dark, and it was really weird. And we heard her mom say, like, Emily, keep the door open. And my mom was like, what the fuck? And, like, looking back on that as an adult, I was like, what's going on here? I mean, I think she may have seen her parents having sex at a young age, like 5 or something. So she, like, picked up some things. I don't know. This is so weird. But anyway, she had an N64. And the only game I remember playing on it was Blast Corps. Or Blast Corps, whatever. That, that like obscure game from Rare, like one of their first games. That thing was awesome, and I don't have very many memories of it, but man, I'm totally getting sidetracked on memory lane here. But anyway, I remember like having cutouts of like different color Nintendo 64s from the Fantastic series. It's not early enough. And the stupid map is still up. I had those, like, saved. And, like, I would, like, pester my mom to buy one eventually. And it never ended up happening. But I did get a PlayStation at some point. She did buy that. Although, man, I don't remember where that came from. Jesus Christ. Where did that PS1 come from? And it was the, like... Oh, come on! This is the worst episode ever. You don't care about my life. No, well, I hope you do. Gabora, go away. Anyway, yeah, I don't remember where the PS1 came from. Well, eventually, I played like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon and stuff like that, which I have a lot of nostalgia for Spyro, but I mean, yeah, eventually, once I started getting like, I think the GameCube was the first like expensive like current console that she bought for me, and yeah, that's basically where it started. Like, From there on, we got like a PS2 when they were still like relatively. Well, I think I got that in 2005, so that was pretty old. But like at that point, I started like keeping up with games because I guess like, well, I remember her like money went up. She got a raise or whatever. I don't know if I should call it a raise, but yeah, life started picking up from that point in terms of like my ability to play video games. But yeah, just sort of getting lost in these memories now. So as you can see, I'm still not talking Zelda, but we will talk to someone who may or may not be hotter than Zelda next time. Every time I play this game, it still sort of feels like the first time. Somehow, I don't know how. What are you still doing here? Goodbye!